Let's talk about the NBA trades that took place during Super Bowl week. First on the list, the Milwaukee Bucks traded Khris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and swap picks for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin, and a second round pick or picks in this Washington Milwaukee trade. Very stunning trade that Khris Middleton was moved on from Milwaukee to Washington, but Kyle Kuzma joins in on the fray with the Milwaukee Bucks joining Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is injured, as we mentioned earlier. Dame Dollar, when we'll see how that goes, how that works out. Currently, the Milwaukee Bucks, they have lost 7 of the last 10 games. All right. They are coming off a loss from Monday against the Golden State Warriors, which we will talk about them and their big trade that they took place in a minute. That's after they had beat the 76ers. So we'll see how these trades work out for both teams. Milwaukee, they are in Minnesota tonight, 8 p.m. They'll take on Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So very shocking trade. Could definitely work out because you did swap pretty much same positions with Kyle Kuzma and Khris Middleton. We'll see if Kyle Kuzma can find that magic again that he found when he first got to Washington and he was the leading scorer for the Wizards. Let's see if he can find that magic again now that he has Giannis whenever he comes back. Well, he'll be back at the All-Star break. Dame Lillard, you still got Brook Lopez on the team. Okay, you still got some guys that can play. So we'll see how that goes tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But Khris Middleton, I don't know what to say to you, sir. You're at the worst team in the NBA. Nah, let me make sure my facts are correct. Hold on before I say that. Washington is 9-44. They are definitely the worst team in the NBA. I'm sorry that your career path has taken you this way, but it's a business. It's a business, and business is not fun at times. It's just not. That's one trade. The big trade over the weekend outside of the Luka and AD trade. Jimmy Butler was traded to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a projected first round pick. Now, before I dive into it, since that trade, they are 2-0. They beat the Bulls 132 to 111 back on Saturday. And then on Monday, they, as we just talked about, they beat the Warriors. They beat the Bucks 125-111. So far, so good on that aspect. For me, however, I still don't like this trade. I think Golden State gave up too much for Jimmy Butler. However, since that trade, the Heat are 0-2. They lost to the Brooklyn Nets 86 to 102. And then they lost to the Boston Celtics, the reigning defending champions, 103 to 85. So far, it's working out in Golden State's favor, even though I still think they gave up too much. He gave up Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, and Kyle Anderson. I'm looking at it. Their game against the Brooklyn Nets, they were shorthanded because they didn't have none of the guys they traded for play in that game. And then against the Boston Celtics, let's see. You did have Andrew Wiggins make his debut. He only gave you 11 points on 3 of 12 shooting, which is terrible. That's 1 for 4 per shot. And Kyle Anderson gave you 10 minutes and gave you nothing but 3 rebounds. And that's it. No Dennis Schroeder, because Dennis Schroeder got traded like 5 damn times. I forgot he ended up in the Pistons. Dennis Schroeder got traded from the Warriors to the Heat to like the Jazz to he was traded every goddamn well. I felt bad for Dennis Schroeder. I'm like, God damn, that man just keep getting traded. Do nobody want Dennis Schroeder? I guess not. So right now, the Heat are struggling. Golden State has won both of their games with Jimmy Butler. We'll see how that fares tonight. You have the Heat at OKC tonight. I definitely don't like their chances with that. If you're struggling now, I definitely don't like your chances when it comes to that. And then you have the Golden State Warriors. Where are the Warriors at? Because this is the first time in a long time all 30 teams are playing on the same day. So everybody's playing today. Even if you played yesterday, it's your second of a back-to-back. The Warriors are in Dallas to take on a beaten up Dallas Mavericks team. That is 9:30. That is on ESPN. If anybody wants to watch that game. But yes, all 30 teams are playing tonight. So you will see the Heat. You will see the Warriors in action tonight. You will also see every other team in action tonight. Oh, and by the way, Jimmy Butler got a contract extension, reportedly, lining up a 2-year extension for $121 million. That was reported. So congratulations to him on getting traded and getting paid, which makes me even don't like the trade even more because you don't even know how long you're gonna have Steph Curry. You don't even know how long you're gonna have Jimmy Butler. You don't even know how long you're gonna have Draymond Green. So it's like win now mentality for the Golden State Warriors, and if you don't win, what's next? What's next? So that's the question. And then you had Brandon Ingram get traded out of New Orleans for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a future first round and second round pick from the Toronto Raptors. Oh, and by the way, Brandon Ingram, he got a contract extension. He got a 3-year, $120 million extension with the Raptors after he was traded. So we'll see how that goes. And they got a nice squad, I think they got a nice squad. I might like this squad here for the Toronto Raptors. Now you have Brandon Ingram teaming up with Scotty Barnes and R.J. Barrett. Okay, so you might can do some things with Brandon Ingram here. We'll see how that works. But tonight, they are hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cleveland has been on one this year. Best record in the NBA. Well, tied for the best record in the NBA because Oklahoma City is 43-9 and Cleveland is 43-10. Basically, a tie to me, even though Cleveland has one more loss than the Oklahoma City Thunder because they play one more game than the Thunder. But they're tops in the East, followed by the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks running up the top 3 in the East. So we'll see what the new look Raptors look like tonight when they face top-seeded Cleveland up north, up in Toronto. Which is very interesting, by the way. Very, very interesting. And finally, DeAndre Hunter was traded from Atlanta Hawks to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Caris LeVert, George Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 first-round pick swaps. So Atlanta made a move. Cleveland made a move. And the thing is, Cleveland actually might have gotten better, even though they gave up more assets. If you think about it. You still got Donovan Mitchell. You still got Jerry Allen. You still got Darius Garland. You still got Evan Mobley. You still got Isaiah Okoro, Matt Strus. They actually might have gotten better with the addition of DeAndre Hunter, which is a scary thought because they already number 1 team in the East. Which tells me Cleveland are not sitting on their morals. They want to make sure they have the pieces to knock off the Boston Celtics. That's what that move was. That was a move to say, Boston, we are not playing with y'all. We are coming for y'all throats. That was what that trade was for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, will that be enough? I doubt it because we're talking about the reigning defending champions who pretty much came back in tow. Okay, you still got Jaylen Brown. You still got Jason Tatum. You still got Jrue Holiday, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, you still got Sam Hauser. You still got Derrick White. You still got your core. And not to mention, you added Torian Craig to your list. So pretty much add to the defense. That's already a good defense. Luke, you got Luke Kennard. Peyton Pritchard still there. But I applaud Cleveland for making the move. I really do. Because it says we still need a piece or two to really challenge the Boston Celtics. Which then they went out and got DeAndre Hunter. They want to challenge the Boston Celtics for the East, which I am good with. The Knicks want to challenge the Boston Celtics for the East, which I'm good with. Which makes the East a little bit more interesting here. a little bit more interesting to see how the East goes down. Because you know the West, it's the Wild Wild West over there. You got OKC dominant. Then the next thing you know, the Denver Nuggets might wake up and actually remember, oh, we are champions. We did win a ring like 2 years ago, right? Okay, wake up. Let's get going. The Lakers with Luka and LeBron, we don't know how that's gonna go, so that can go either way. Also a good start when you beat the Utah Jazz, and they play the Jazz tonight, by the way. Okay, Minnesota, they've been up and down, but they can turn it on whenever they want to. If Dallas get healthy in time, they can make another run and try to get back to the finals. The Clippers, nobody talking about the Clippers, but the Clippers are doing pretty good. The Clippers are currently 6th in the West right now, 29-3. The surprising Houston Rockets sitting in 5th with 33-20. Don't forget about the Memphis Grizzlies, second in the West right now at 36-17. And then you got Golden State fighting for a spot, Sacramento fighting for a spot. That's the 9 and 10th team. Outside looking in, the Phoenix Suns, if they ever get their act together, which they probably won't because they don't have the cap space to do so. They on the outside looking in. You got San Antonio trying to make moves and make things happen. So the Wild Wild West is going to be the Wild Wild West. But the East, we already know is Boston. Cleveland made a move to get better. All right, New York they made moves in off season to get better. Okay, you already know about the Boston Celtics. Indiana, they trying to do better. We'll see how Milwaukee look when Giannis comes back, and it's Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and Damian Lillard all on the court at the same time. Philly, like I said earlier, this process it's a the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia 76ers, they can't stay healthy, they can't get to this, and they can't get to the NBA finals. Okay. My Magic started off good, but injuries have their that's the real us, and we can't get back on track whatsoever. This is the things. So you literally have 5 teams that can actually fight for the East. 14 that actually, I say 14 that actually can fight Boston for the East because Boston is the team to beat in the East. Cleveland, New York, Indiana, and Milwaukee. That's it. Everybody else, you're not touching Boston. Not even the Miami Heat. But in the West, OKC. Let me take this down. As I could finish this off. OKC. So OKC's in the West. So in the West, OKC, Memphis, Denver, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Clippers, the Timberwolves, and we'll see if Dallas, Sacramento, and Golden State they can find their rhythm and get back into it. And then Phoenix as well. But currently, right now, the class of the West right now belongs to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Even though the Cavaliers is number 1 in the East, that title of class of the East still belongs to the Boston Celtics. To be the champs, you have to beat the champs. And the champs reside in the East with the Boston Celtics. I love what the Knicks did during the offseason. I love what the Cavaliers did during the trade season. Now, can neither one of them challenge the Boston Celtics for the East? We shall see. And that would do it for our NBA talk.